a mother and daughter entered an elevator and then disappeared without a trace. It was as if they vanished into thin air. This is not a story from a novel or movie, but a bizarre real disappearance case in Taiwan. The case caused a great shock throughout Taiwan at the time. It has since become one of the most mysterious disappearances in Taiwan's history, and to this day, no one has offered a reasonable explanation. Ropes, and any other time all of them, let's explore the truth behind the Yuanlin Building mother and daughter disappearance. Hello everyone, welcome to Brian Crime TV. I'm Brian. The story began on the morning of January 21, 2008, around 7 o'clock, when a security guard started his shift at the Yuanlin Finance Building in Taiwan. For him, it was just an ordinary day, but he didn't know that what he was about to discover would puzzle Taiwan for decades. He entered one of the building's elevators and found clothes and shoes scattered on the floor, which looked strange and eerie. The Yuanlin Finance Building is located in Changhua, Taiwan, built in 1991, a financial office building, one of the few modern buildings in the area at the time. It has 11 floors, surrounded by low-rise structures, making it stand out strikingly, very eye-catching. The residents were all high-income earners, who behaved properly, so it was hard to imagine anyone leaving clothes in the elevator. The guard examined the clothes closely. There was a red and a pink coat, and the pink coat was very small, looking like children's clothing. Besides the clothes, there were also 2 pairs of shoes, one large and one small. It was winter, and it was hard to imagine someone taking off their shoes, walking barefoot, especially since one pair belonged to twins. The scene left the guard very confused, so he went to the office to review the elevator surveillance footage to see what was going on. Soon, he found the answer on the footage, but what he saw only deepened his confusion, making the matter even more mysterious. The footage showed that, the night before last, a woman entered the elevator with a girl, looking panicked, as if hiding from someone or urgently heading somewhere. After pressing the floor button, she began taking off her and the child's coats and shoes, laying them on the floor. During this time, the girl stood silently, allowing the strange scene, all unfolding late at night, making it even more eerie. The woman stared intently at the elevator floor panel, the display panel, until the elevator reached the 11th floor, the building's top floor. When the elevator doors opened, the woman hurried out holding the girl. Speaking of which, don't you feel you've heard a similar story? Exactly. Her strange behavior reminds many of another famous case, the disappearance of Elisa Lam. Hence, this has been called Taiwan's Elisa Lam case. But I find this case even stranger than Elisa Lam's, and the reasons are coming up, so keep listening. Also, when I researched this, I had a question. The woman used the elevator at night, so why were the clothes only found in the morning? Had no one else used the elevator? On that point, there's little information online, but I found 2 explanations. First, the elevators were shut from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. After the woman used the elevator, it was exactly 9 o'clock, and the elevator stopped running. The second theory is more bizarre. The building originally had 2 elevators, but after the woman used one, that elevator ceased operation for unknown reasons, and the doors never opened again, while the other elevator remained active, in use. After the woman left the elevator with her child, hallway cameras recorded her turning left and entering the stairwell. That was the last time she appeared on footage. This is strange. She just took the elevator upstairs, so why immediately go to the stairs? If she wanted another floor, she could have just pressed the button earlier. The guard also wondered where the woman went last, but there was no surveillance in the stairwell, though it wasn't a big problem since all other exits on every floor were monitored. So if she reached another floor or left the building, she would have been caught on camera. So the guard checked other footage, and the result was, the more she looked, the colder it felt down her spine, because all cameras in the building never recorded the woman again afterward. This the woman was likely still inside the building. Given her strange actions, the guard decided to report it immediately. Police soon arrived, and the guard showed them the footage. The police were also puzzled by her odd behavior, but what baffled them most was not what they saw on screen, but what lay beyond the footage. How did the woman avoid every camera? And where did she go? So, police decided to search the entire building. They began with a thorough search of the 11th floor, the woman's last known floor. There were 4 units on the 11th floor, one of which was a Buddhist shrine. A female employee was on duty that night, but she said she never saw the woman from the footage. Another unit housed a human resources firm, whose staff had all left at that time, so there were no witnesses, and the remaining 2 units were vacant, their doors closed year-round. The police questioned residents on other floors, all receiving the same response. Everyone said they had never seen the woman, nor heard anything unusual. In fact, only 2 people in the entire building had seen the woman and child. The first was the building's duty manager. He saw the woman enter looking panicked, and asked if she was looking for someone. She said she was here to see a unit manager, but appeared unwell, and since she had a child, he didn't press further and let her in. The other was a female resident, who saw the woman enter the elevator with the child, but she had no interaction with the woman. After searching every floor with no sign of them, investigators felt only one possibility remained. After the woman entered the stairwell, she could go down to other floors, or up to the building's rooftop. As for why she'd go to the rooftop, everyone can guess. Going to the rooftop actually makes more sense. As mentioned earlier, if she wanted to reach other floors, she would have simply taken the elevator. Only going to the rooftop requires going to the 11th floor first, then using the stairs. Also, the woman's act of removing her clothes and shoes. In local custom, it symbolizes letting go of all attachments to the city. If you look at it this way, it all starts to make sense, right? So why didn't police suspect a jump immediately? The reason is very simple. The building is surrounded by streets, or alleys. These areas are usually busy with people, so if someone jumped, it would have been witnessed immediately. Police later went to the rooftop, looking around below, and found no signs of a jump. They checked every possible hiding spot on the roof, including the water tanks everyone would suspect. Later, police found the woman arrived on a motorcycle, which was still parked at the building's entrance, seeming to support that she never left. Since the elevator camera clearly captured the woman's face, police quickly confirmed her identity. The woman's surname was Liu, her full name Liu Hui-jun, aged 37 at the time, married, and mother of 4 children. The child in the footage was her youngest daughter. After confirming her identity, police interviewed her relatives and friends. But according to them, Ms. Liu had no family or friends living in the Yuanlin building, nor did anyone know of her acquaintances there. Here, people found Mrs. Lia's strange behavior equally hard to understand. With no leads, police investigated her background to see if they could find answers. The investigation showed Liu Hui-jun was born in a rural area and came from a poor family. She was beautiful in her youth, widely recognized by men locally, and had many admirers. But later, her mother arranged a marriage for her to a wealthy local man. Liu bore him 3 children. But as time passed, the man's true nature emerged. He often drank heavily, stayed out all night, and at any displeasure, he was physically abusive to his wife and children. Eventually, Ms. Liu could no longer bear this life and chose to divorce. Her rural area was conservative, and rumors soon followed. Meanwhile, the ex-husband promised Mrs. Liu he would change and be a good husband again. Thus, under dual pressure from inside and outside, although divorced, Ms. Liu still lived with her husband and soon gave birth to another daughter. But the good times didn't last. Her husband quickly reverted, often getting blackout drunk at bars and staying out all night, while Mrs. Liu struggled alone to raise 4 children. Due to her husband's alcoholism, their family income became unstable, and debts piled up. Under this pressure, her family noticed signs of mental distress. Days before the incident, she showed emotional instability, insomnia, and anxiety. On the day of the incident, after a violent fight with her drunken husband, she left home with her youngest daughter. Shortly after, she told her mother and eldest daughter she was staying at a friend's for a few days, without revealing the friend's name or address, but she left without carrying her ID, wallet, or phone, which was very unusual. This bizarre case caused immense shock in Taiwan, with many speculating about Liu Huijun's disappearance. Let's look at some widely circulated theories. One theory says Mrs. Liu was overwhelmed by life's pressures, leading to a mental breakdown. So she took her youngest daughter to the rooftop, intending to end it all. But the problem is, police thoroughly searched the rooftop and surroundings with no signs of a jump. On this matter, people speculate local residents removed and disposed of the bodies before police arrived to protect property values. The reason is, if a jump occurred, local real estate prices would surely fall, so they wanted to hide it. So they decided to keep the truth hidden. This theory has some logic, theoretically possible, but it seems unlikely. Since tampering with remains is a crime, would anyone risk so much to protect property values? Also, if Mrs. Liu intended to die, why bring her young daughter along? Why go to an unfamiliar place? This is hard to explain. Another theory is that Ms. Liu actually lived in the Yuanlin Building and had a secret lover. She left her ID and phone to cut ties and start over. A new beginning. This fits with her telling her mother and eldest daughter she was staying at a friend's house for a few days. But this theory doesn't hold up well either. First, family information shows Ms. Liu was unlikely to have a secret lover because she stayed home tending to her 4 kids, rarely going out, let alone maintain a secret relationship. And if her lover lived in Yuanlin Building, she should have been seen before. But the guard said he never saw her, even considering that the lover hid her. She would have to go out eventually. Moreover, police found nothing suspicious among all residents. The scariest theory is, Ms. Liu met someone in the building, and after luring mother and daughter inside, killed them. But the problem is, if this were true, the footage should have recorded her entering a unit. This theory was mostly ruled out. By 2013, this case had become an urban legend. Rumors grew stranger, with theories of space-time distortions made up, so police decided to reopen the case. They conducted a full analysis of the building structure, looking for any overlooked spots. Needless to say, actually, the first investigation had found 2 theoretical ways to leave without detection. However, these only existed in theory. The first way is, if Mrs. Liu took the stairs to the basement 1 floor, there is an air conditioning room there, which has an emergency exit leading directly outside, but it is very hidden. Many residents don't even know it exists, much less a newcomer like Mrs. Liu. The key question is, what would be her reason to do so? Also, basement 1 had a billiards hall, which was open at night, but no one saw Mrs. Liu or her daughter. And cameras at the hall's entrance didn't capture her. The second way is via the second basement parking lot, then leaving with someone's car. That said, the parking exit also had cameras, but with intent to hide, it could be avoided. Police checked every vehicle leaving that night, but found nothing suspicious. The same issue remains. If Mrs. Liu wanted to leave, she could have simply vanished, without needing all the hassle of staging this act. Besides, even after 2 investigations, police still had no useful clues. Moreover, police questioned all residents again, also including those who moved in later, and carefully inspected vacant units, but still found nothing. In 2024, Ms. Lia's husband accidentally fell and died while repairing a water tank. That same year, Ms. Liu and her daughter were legally declared dead. The good news is, the deputy police chief handling the case said they had registered their DNA profiles and would continue to track their whereabouts. Well, that's all for today's content. Please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.